Hello students, welcome to this biochemistry department. Today we will start with the first topic, that is carbohydrates. So first we always start with a कुछ मीठा हो जाए या let's start with sweets, that is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are mostly sugars. So in this topic we will cover everything about carbohydrates, their properties and their test and even their classification, definition, everything. So today let's start with carbohydrates. Now carbohydrates are what? सबसे पहले we start with our definition. So carbohydrates are polyhydroxy. They are what? Polyhydroxy, aldehydes and ketones. तो carbohydrates are polyhydroxy, aldehydes and ketone or their derivatives. Clear? So polyhydroxy means what? Many. Hydroxy is what? OH ions. OH, so more than one polyhydroxy ions, that are known as polyhydroxy, and functional group they are having either aldehydes or ketone. Such substances या such compounds are known as carbohydrates. So we can repeat, carbohydrates are what? They are polyhydroxy, aldehydes and ketone or their derivatives which are produced by hydrolysis. So they are polyhydroxy, aldehydes or ketone or their derivatives. Now classification of carbohydrates. So they are classified into 4 classes, that is monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharides. So monosaccharides means, mono means you know one. So carbohydrates having only one saccharide is sugar unit. So all the carbohydrates having one sugar unit are classified into monosaccharides. With 2 sugar unit, di means 2. So 2 sugar units are disaccharides. From 3 to 10 sugar units are oligosaccharides, and more than 10 sugar units are kept under a class, that is polysaccharides. So carbohydrates are classified into monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharide. Now what are monosaccharides? Monosaccharides are simplest carbohydrate या simplest sugars. They cannot be further hydrolyzed. So they cannot be further hydrolyzed because they are made up of only single sugar unit, and their general formula is CnH2nOn. They are further classified, and they are monosaccharides are further grouped or classified on the basis of number of carbon atoms and on the basis of functional group. So monosaccharides are further classified on the basis of number of carbon atoms and functional group. So according to number of carbon atoms, monosaccharides are classified with 3 carbon, they are triose sugar, with 4 carbon they are tetrose sugar, with 5 carbon they are pentose sugar, with 6 carbon they are hexose sugar, and so on, with 7 carbon heptose sugar and so on. So triose, tetrose, pentose and hexoses, these are all classification of monosaccharides on the basis of carbon atom, with 3 carbon triose, 4 carbon tetrose, 5 carbon pentose, 6 carbon hexose sugars. Now on the basis of functional group, if they are having aldehyde as a functional group, then they are classified as aldo sugars. With ketone as a functional unit, they are classified as ketose sugar. So on the basis of functional group, they are classified into aldose sugar and ketose sugar. So aldose sugars, now we see aldose sugar with 3 carbon is glyceraldehyde. Keto sugar with 3 carbon are dihydroxyacetone. Aldose sugar with 4 carbon are erythrose, and keto sugar is erythrulose. Pentose with 5 carbon Aldo sugar is ribose. 5 carbon keto sugar is ribulose. Hexose, there are glucose and galactose, they are aldo sugars, whereas fructose is keto sugar. So aldo sugars with 3 carbon are glyceraldehyde, with 4 carbon are erythrose, with 5 carbon are ribose, and with 6 carbon are glucose and galactose. And keto sugar having the functional group as a ketone are 3 carbon are dihydroxyacetone, with 4 carbon are erythrulose, with 5 carbon are ribulose, and with 6 carbon are fructose. So monosaccharides are simplest sugar. They cannot be further hydrolyzed. They are made up of only single sugar unit. Their formula is CnH2nOn, and they are classified on the basis of the carbon atom, number of carbon atom, and functional group, that is ketose or aldose. Now disaccharides. Disaccharide we know, di means 2. So carbohydrates with 2 sugar unit are known as disaccharides. Those sugar which yield 2 molecules of same or different monosaccharides on hydrolysis are known as disaccharide. Their general formula is CnH2O whole n-1. Different examples are maltose, lactose and sucrose. Maltose is with 2 sugar unit, and the both sugar unit are what? They are of glucose. So 2 glucose join together to form maltose, whereas in lactose there is 1 glucose and 1 lactose. So glucose is made up of 1 glucose molecule and 1 lactose molecule. Sucrose produce 1 molecule of glucose and 1 molecule of fructose. So disaccharides are made up of 2 sugar units, or when they are hydrolyzed they produce 2 monosaccharide unit. Their general formula is CnH2O whole n-1. 3 examples we have seen: maltose, lactose and sucrose. Maltose with 2 glucose, lactose with 1 glucose and 1 galactose, sucrose with 1 glucose and 1 fructose. Now oligosaccharides. So those sugars which yield 3 to 10 monosaccharide unit on hydrolysis are known as oligosaccharides. Example of oligosaccharide we see is maltotriose. Maltotriose is made up of 3 glucose unit. When 3 glucose are joined together, when 2 glucose are joined, it forms maltose. When 1 more glucose is added, then it forms maltotriose. Then non-reducing trisaccharide raffinose, which is made up of fructose, glucose and galactose. Then ribinose, which is reducing trisaccharide, made up of galactose and 2 molecules of deoxy sugar, that is known as rhamnose. Then many glycoproteins like immunoglobulins, peptide hormone, blood group antigen, they all contain oligosaccharide which are attached to protein, covalently attached to protein. So oligosaccharides example we have seen maltotriose with 3 glucose, raffinose with 1 glucose, 1 galactose and 1 fructose, ribinose with 1 galactose and 2 rhamnose sugar. In this way, and other many glycoproteins are present. When sugar is attached with protein, they are known as glycoprotein. Example we have seen immunoglobulins where oligosaccharide sugar is present. In peptide hormone also sugar is present. In blood group antigen also sugar is present. That is all oligosaccharides. In this sugar is attached covalently to the protein molecule. Now polysaccharides. So these sugars yield more than 10 molecules on hydrolysis, more than 10 molecules of monosaccharides. So because they are made up of more than 10 sugar units. Their general formula is C6H10O5. C6H10O5 whole N. Polysaccharides are further divided into two groups. They are further classified, polysaccharides are further classified into homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. So homopolysaccharide, homo means same. When all the sugar units are of same sugar, then they are known as homopolysaccharide. And when they are made up of different sugar, hetero means different, so they are known as heteropolysaccharides. Even like see, if all the 10 are glucose and if one is galactose, then also it will be heteropolysaccharides. When all are glucose, it will be homopolysaccharide. When all are fructose, it will be homopolysaccharides. So homopolysaccharides are made up of same monosaccharide unit, whereas heteropolysaccharides are made up of different monosaccharide unit. Examples of homopolysaccharides you see starch, dextrine, cellulose, glycogen, inulin. This is the polymer of fructose. Then mucopolysaccharide example of heteropolysaccharides are all mucopolysaccharides, hyaluronic acid, heparin sulfate, keratin sulfate, chondroitin sulfate. These are all heteropolysaccharides. Now we come to biomedical importance of carbohydrates. So the chief source of carbohydrates are the chief source of energy. So most energy giving products, energy giving compounds are carbohydrates. It is the main constituent of compound lipid and conjugated protein. Like we have seen this glycoprotein, they are made up of sugar with protein. Glycolipids, they are made up of sugar with lipids. So they are also constituents of lipid and protein. Degradation product act as promoters on catalysis. If we degrade this carbohydrate, they act as promoters and help in catalysis. Certain carbohydrate derivatives are used as drugs, as example cardiac glycosides, all antibodies, they are all made up of carbohydrate where oligosaccharide is combined. Lactose is the principal sugar of milk in lactating mammary gland. So milk sugar is lactose. Degradation product utilized for synthesis of other substances such as fatty acid, cholesterol, amino acid, etc. So all the degradation products, they are synthesized by these carbohydrates like fatty acid, cholesterol, amino acid, etc. So the degradation product of carbohydrate is acetyl coenzyme A. That acetyl coenzyme is used in the synthesis of fatty acid, in the synthesis of cholesterol, and also many amino acids. The constituent of mucopolysaccharides which form the ground substance of mesenchymal tissues. So mucopolysaccharide forms the ground substance. Like hyaluronic acid, it forms synovial fluid. So this type of ground substance are also synthesized by mucopolysaccharides. So inherited deficiency of certain enzymes in metabolic pathways of different carbohydrate can cause disease. So if some of the enzymes are deficient, then it can cause diseases. Example, lactosemia, glycogen storage disease, lactose intolerance. These all are examples of carbohydrates deficient enzymes. Then dearrangement of glucose metabolism is seen in diabetes mellitus. So if glucose is disturbed, if the level of sugar is high, glucose sugar is high or low, it causes disorders. If the sugar is high, it causes diabetes mellitus. If the sugar is low, that is hypoglycemia. And in diabetes, it is hyperglycemia. Now we see the structures of this. So this is trio sugar with 3 carbon. Okay. So how we have to draw these structures. So if it is glycerol, if it is trio sugar, draw 3 carbons. then first carbon will have, if it is aldehyde sugar, then first carbon will have its functional group. So on the first carbon you draw aldehyde as a functional group and last carbon as CH2OH. If it is 4 carbon sugar, that is erythrose, then you draw 4 carbon, first carbon with aldehyde sugar and last carbon with CH2OH, and rest other carbon you can complete the valency of carbon with OH and H. In this way we draw the structures of aldose sugar. In ketose sugar we see what? The second carbon is the functional group. First carbon and last carbon CH2OH and second carbon is ketone as a functional unit. These are, we have made here, that is dihydroxyacetone. If we see the structure of erythrulose, that having 4 carbon, then we will have CH2OH at first and last at CH2OH, second carbon with CO and third carbon will have CHOH like this. So in this way sugar structures are formed. Now in glucose we see that glucose is having 6 carbon because it is hexose sugar. So draw 6 carbon. On the first carbon we will have aldehyde as a functional group. Rest and last carbon will have CH2OH. Rest all carbons are HOH. Only remember that the third carbon OH is towards the left side and all other OH are towards the right hand side. The same fructose, it is first and last with CH2OH and second carbon draw ketone as a functional group. Rest all carbon as HOH. Only third carbon OH is towards the left hand side like glucose. Now if we see the structure of galactose, then we will have 6 carbon and in galactose third and fourth both OH are on the left side, rest of all OH on right hand side. In this way it will also have first carbon with aldehyde group, last with CH2OH. Now we go in detail about monosaccharides. So biomedical importance of monosaccharides. So monosaccharide sugars, we have seen that glyceraldehyde is aldotriose. It is intermediate in glycolysis and HMP shunt. So glyceraldehyde is aldotriose. It is intermediate in glycolysis and HMP shunt. Dihydroxyacetone is ketotriose. It is also intermediate in glycolysis. It is required for triacylglycerol synthesis. For the triacylglycerol synthesis, dihydroxyacetone is required. Then biomedical importance of erythrose. It is aldotetrose. It is also intermediate in HMP shunt. And ribose is aldopentose. It is the constituent of DNA and RNA, nucleic acid. This sugar is important for the synthesis of nucleic acid. Then ribulose, it is ketopentose. It is also an intermediate in pentose phosphate pathway, which is also known as HMP shunt. Then xylulose, it is ketopentose. It is also an intermediate in pentose phosphate pathway or HMP shunt. Now biomedical importance of next hexose sugar, that is glucose. So glucose is aldohexose. It is found in fruit juices. It is obtained from hydrolysis of starch, glycogen, lactose, maltose, sucrose. All are digested and ultimate product is glucose. Glucose on oxidation provides about 70% of energy requirement of the cell. It is the principal component for energy requirement. The diabetes mellitus and hypoglycemia are disorders of blood glucose homeostasis. So blood glucose, two conditions are there, hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. Hypo means when sugar is less than 60 and hyper means when sugar is more than 110 fasting. So diabetes mellitus, you all know, when the sugar is high, the condition is known as diabetes mellitus. Now galactose, it is also aldohexose. It is obtained from hydrolysis of milk, sugar, lactose. It is component of lactose, glycolipid and glycoprotein. It is converted into glucose in liver. There is a disorder which is known as galactosemia, where there is inborn error of galactose metabolism. So galactose metabolism does not take place in absence of enzyme galactose 1-phosphate uridyl transferase and galactokinase, and the condition is known as what? Galactosemia, where there is a deficiency of enzyme galactose 1-phosphate, uridyl transferase and galactokinase. Now the biomedical importance of monosaccharide, that is fructose. It is ketohexose. It is source of fructose, is main source of fruit juice and honey. It is obtained by hydrolysis of sucrose. It is converted to glucose in liver. In semen, it provides energy to spermatozoa. In semen, fructose is the main source of energy. Then essential fructosuria is an inborn error of fructose metabolism, where fructose is excreted in urine. That condition is known as fructosuria, when in urine the level of fructose is increased. It is caused by deficiency of enzyme aldolase B. Now we come next to the isomers of monosaccharides. So monosaccharides are having different forms that are known as isomers. So isomers are what? Here we will see only the stereoisomers. So isomers are compounds that have same molecular formula but different structural arrangement, and the isomers of monosaccharides are stereoisomers, that are known as stereoisomers. Now what are stereoisomers? Stereoisomers are that compound that have identical composition but differ in their orientation of groups in space. So spatial arrangement is different. That type of isomer is known as stereoisomers, where we see the mirror images. These are stereoisomers. They are due to asymmetric carbon. What is asymmetric carbon? Asymmetric carbon, that carbon which have all the 4 groups different. Now pyranose and furanose structures. These are known as Haworth projection formula. Haworth projection formula, this Haworth have shown 2 depicted structures. Pyrene, they told that there is a 6-membered ring that is known as pyrene, whereas 5-carbon ring, 5-member ring, that is known as furane. So 6-membered ring is pyranose sugar. They are known as pyranose sugar. It is based on structure named pyrene. It is present in aldose sugar. Aldose sugar have this pyranose sugar or pyrene structure, whereas furanose sugar have furane structure. So these are the cyclic forms of glucose and are also known as alpha D glucopyranose. So fructose will have this structure, whereas galactose and glucose will have this structure. These are known as Haworth projection formula, which was depicted by him, that pyrene is 6-membered ring and furane is 5-membered ring. All keto sugar have furane ring and all aldose sugar have pyrene ring. Now you see the structure. So this glucose ring structure, this is pyrene ring with 6 carbon or 6-membered ring. At one position oxygen is there, and rest, this is number 1 carbon, this is number 2 carbon, this is number 3 carbon, this is number 4 carbon, this is number 5 carbon, and this is 6 carbon. So 6 carbon is outside the ring, whereas rest of the 5 carbon are inside the ring, because at one position oxygen has occupied. And you see 1 carbon, 2 carbon and 3rd carbon, OH is towards the left side, all rest OH are to the right side. Clear? This is known as glucose. So this OH here it is changed. This OH can be OH is towards the down only, that is towards the right side. Here this is beta glucose, that's why it is shown that this OH towards up, है ना? And this is also beta galactose because this OH is upside, and this is alpha because OH is downside. Clear? So this is the difference we will see here in isomers. So all glucose and galactose will have all the OH downstairs, only 3rd carbon is upstairs, and rest all the carbon are in the ring, whereas 6th carbon is outside the ring. And the galactose, you see 3rd and 4th both OH are upside. These are the structures of galactose. And fructose, it is 5 carbon ring, that is furan ring, one position occupied by oxygen, and first and last both carbon are outside the ring. This is 1st carbon, this is 2nd, this is 3rd, this is 4th, and this is 5th carbon, and 6th is also outside the ring. So in this way the ring structures of glucose, galactose and fructose we have seen. First, 2 glucose, they join together, the bond is known as what? Glycosidic bond. This bond is between the 1 carbon and 4 carbon. So 1 carbon of first glucose and 4 carbon of second glucose, that's why it is known as alpha 1,4 bond between 2 glucose units. This is the structure of maltose. Now we come isomers, that is enantiomerism. What is enantiomerism? Enantiomerism is D and L isomerism, which depends on the configuration of the asymmetric carbon, which is far from the carbonyl group. D and L are mirror images. They depend on the orientation of H and OH. So in this we will see not the last. What it is? We will see that around the asymmetric carbon atom of penultimate carbon. Penultimate carbon, it is not ultimate carbon. Ultimate carbon is last. This is penultimate carbon, that is last but one. That is last carbon को हमको नहीं देखना है. We will see the second last carbon. If the OH of second last carbon is towards the right hand side or towards the left hand side. If it is towards the right hand side, this is D glucose. If it is towards the left hand side, then it is L glucose. So D and L forms. So D and L forms are there. You can clearly see here when this OH, these are both D glyceraldehyde and L glyceraldehyde, where we see this last carbon we have not to see. We have to see second last carbon. So at this carbon, if this OH is towards the left hand side, then it is L glyceraldehyde. When this OH is towards the right hand side, then it is D glyceraldehyde. This type of isomerism are known as enantiomerism, or we see the OH and H group if it is towards the right or left, but we have to see the H and OH group orientation of second last carbon. So if it is erythrose sugar, then we will see third carbon. If it is pentose sugar, then we will see fourth carbon. If it is galactose or glucose sugar, then we will see fifth carbon. Now anomerism. Anomerism is what? When carbon 1 atom is anomeric carbon. So anomeric carbon is what carbon? It has two form names, alpha and beta. alpha form means that the hydroxyl group, what it is on the first carbon, this hydroxyl group है ना, this OH group which is on the first carbon, if this is below the plane of the ring or opposite to the sixth carbon, so sixth carbon is always outside the ring. So if the first carbon OH is opposite to this carbon, then it is known as alpha glucose. If it is same towards the sixth carbon, then it is beta glucose. If OH is above, then it is beta. If this OH is below, then it is alpha. So if it is opposite to sixth carbon, then it is alpha. If it is similar orientation to the sixth carbon, then it is beta. These are known as anomers. So these are alpha glucose and beta glucose. Same in this way, here it is beta fructose because this is similar to this orientation. If this OH is here, then it is alpha fructose. Now this is beta fructose. Now the epimerism, third type of isomer, that is epimerism. Here we see that difference in the group between two respective sugar. So if we will see, this is mannose, this is glucose and this is galactose. So glucose is having third OH here, but galactose is having third and fourth both glucose OH here. So where these two sugars have difference, it has a difference on fourth carbon. So we will see galactose is fourth epimer of glucose. In mannose you see second and third both OH are towards the left side. So difference between glucose and mannose is what? That difference is this OH. So we will see that mannose is second epimer of glucose. So we have seen three types of isomerism. First was enantiomerism, second was anomerism, and third is epimerism. In enantiomerism we have seen the orientation of H and OH of second last carbon. In anomerism we have seen first carbon OH which is opposite to CH2OH, sixth CH2OH, or which is in the similar orientation. If it is opposite, then it is alpha. If it is similar, then it is beta. And now epimerism, we have seen the difference in two sugars at what position, then we name it accordingly for 4 epimer or 2 epimer of glucose. Now mutarotation. Mutarotation is defined as the change in the specific optical rotation by the interconversion of alpha and beta forms of D-glucose to the equilibrium relation. So mutarotation is what? It is a rotation when and one isomeric form, that is alpha glucose and beta glucose. When these two are mixtures, then if beta glucose alone is there, it keeps its rotation at 18.7 degrees. And if it is alpha D-glucose, it keeps its orientation at 112 degrees. But when we mix together, they both set at an equilibrium mixture, that is known as 52.7. This rotation is known as mutarotation. In water, alpha D-glycopyranose and beta D-glycopyranose interconvert, and this specific rotation is known as what? Mutarotation. Now we come to the chemical properties. So chemical properties of monosaccharides. So first it is action with alkali. When alkali like NaOH and KOH react with monosaccharides, anidiols are formed. Anidiols are what? All carbon will have OH group, that is aldo functional group and ketose functional group, both will convert into OH. These are known as anidiols. So all the carbon will have OH, no aldehyde or ketone functional group. So the functional group of aldehyde and ketone, when they are converted into OH, they are known as anidiols. The second property is oxidation. So when they take oxygen, so all these are converted into their respective acids. So glucose, when is converted, it forms gluconic acid. It also forms glucuronic acid. When then it forms glucaric acid. So we will see here structures also. The next is reduction. When glucose is reduced, it forms its alcohols. The glucose forms, that is sorbitol. It is an alcohol. We will see each now in detail. Here see, when it has an action with alkali, you see all this keto functional group is converted into OH. This keto functional group, it is converted into OH. So in this way, all this aldehyde functional group is converted into OH. This keto functional group is converted into OH. So these are anidiols. So when all monosaccharides, when they react with alkali, they form anidiols. That is, their functional aldehyde or ketone group are converted into alcohols. When we come to the reduction, then this glucose is converted. So this aldehyde is converted into its alcohol. This is known as sorbitol. Now we come to the oxidation. So in oxidation, what happens? When this aldehyde compound, this aldehyde, first is aldehyde functional group, this is converted into acid, then it is known as gluconic acid. When the sixth carbon CH2OH is converted into COOH acid, then it is known as glucuronic acid. When both are converted into acid, first and last, then it is known as glucaric acid. So in this way oxidation takes place. When oxidation takes place at functional group aldehyde, then it is known as gluconic acid. When at sixth carbon CH2OH, then it is glucuronic acid. When it is at both the carbon, first and last, then it is glucaric acid. So aldonic acid, when oxidation of aldehyde group. Uronic acid, when oxidation of primary alcohol, that is CH2OH sixth group. Then alderic acid, when both aldehyde and primary alcohol both are oxidized, then it is glucaric acid from glucose. And in if galactose, it forms mucic acid. Now sugar alcohols, we have seen when the sugar is reduced, it forms its alcohol. So glucose will form sorbitol, mannose will form mannitol, galactose will form galcitol, xylose will form xylitol, glyceraldehyde will form glycerol. So what are their significance? Now these sugar alcohols have significance. Like sorbitol, accumulation in cell is in diabetes. In diabetes, around the around the eyes lens, a white color ring is formed, that is known as, that is accumulation of this sorbitol. Then mannitol, it is used as osmotic diuretic. It is to reduce cranial tension. Then galcitol, its accumulation in lens is galactosemia. When the patients are of galactosemia, there the galcitol is accumulated instead of this sorbitol. Then xylitol, it is artificial sweetener, sugar free. This is sugar free. Then glycerol, it is the compound of triacyl glycerol and phospholipid. It is used in pharmaceutical industries. Now glycosides. These glycosides are formed when these hemiacetals and hemiketals, hydroxyl group of carbohydrate, react hydroxyl group of another carbohydrate or non-carbohydrate. The compound forms are glycoside, and the bond is known as glycosidic bond, and the non-carbohydrate, that is known as aglycoside. Now physiologically important glycosides. So glucovanillin, it forms vanilla flavor. Cardiac glycosides like digoxin and digitoxin, they stimulate muscle contraction. They are glycone, that is they are they are non-carbohydrate. They stimulate muscle contraction. Streptomycin, it is an antibiotic used in TB, is also a glycoside. Quercetin, it inhibits sodium and potassium blockers, that is also a glycoside. Fluororizin, that also produces renal damage, that is also a glycoside. So today we finish here on the first class. Now the second class will contain oligosaccharides and all polysaccharides and disaccharides. 3 class structures are still remaining, structures and all that we will do in our next class. So thank you very much. So we stop here only. So if you like my class, then please press the like button. If you subscribe these videos, and also press the bell icon. Thank you very much. So in this way, today we have learnt about carbohydrates. It was classified into monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharide. So all the carbohydrates we have done here. Okay, thank you very much.